Hello, this is Edgin Montill, and this is another UCCS video for Introduction to Engineering Design, MAE 1503 with Dr. Foley. This is a video continuing off of the SolidWorks tutorial that can be found in the tutorials for Lesson 2 Assemblies. The video for this one is already uploaded as well, so if you haven't completed that one, this one is necessary for this assignment. This is just the rest of the assemblies assignment as required by Dr. Foley for his class at UCCS. And if we go look at the assignment, pull this up here. Lab assemblies. The biggest thing about this assignment is that there's a ton of files that need to be put together. It's just making sure we do a bunch of image files as well as all the part files and the assembly files for this one. So again, in the other video, we already, from like 2 videos ago, 3 videos ago, we already had made the front of our camera, which was in SolidWorks Lesson 1, or the introductory kind of stuff. Then in the last video, we made the back of the camera, which was required to be able to make this assembly here. Now we're going to finish up Dr. Foley's assignment, which is making a lens cap for this camera and making an assembly of that as well. So for the assignment, since this one has 10 different files that you need, I made a separate file. And as you can see here, I already have the part file for the front of my camera and the image of it, the part file for the back of my camera and the image of it, the assembly file for the front and back of my camera and the image for it. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be creating the new part, the lens. So I go up to File and New, or I could just click on my New button there. But either way, I'm trying to make a new part. I could double click on that image there. And now, similarly to what we've done a bunch of times now, we're going to hit our extruded boss base button, our front plane. We're going to draw a circle. I'm going to start by tying it to the origin. That way I can fully define my picture easier. I'm going to smart dimension this, and I'm going to make it a dimension of 72 millimeters, because I know that when we made my camera front, the lens on it is 70 millimeters, so 72 will be a little bit bigger than that. It already went fully black because I have a sketch relation with the origin and I dimensioned it so it knows how big it is. I hit the check mark to get out of my dimension tool. I hit exit sketch to get out of my exit sketch tool, and if I did it right, it should have automatically went into my extrude. Now I know the front of my camera was extruded 25 millimeters, so I'm just going to make this one 20 millimeters to make sure that it fits on there, but it's not fitting like too perfectly. So I hit check mark to be done with that, and now I'm going to use my shell tool like we've done before. I want to shell out this planner into it, so I put that under face 1 there, under whatever this thing is, faces to remove. And then under the parameters here, I'm going to put 2 millimeters because I made it 2 millimeters too big. So when I hit check mark, it's actually going to shell that out for me. If I want to get fancy, I can right click on the part and go to appearances, click on appearances and appearances again, and I can make it a different color, check mark, and now I'm going to want to go to file and save as, and make sure I put it in the same spot that I'm putting all my other stuff. This is going to be my last name, underscore camera, underscore cap, and save that as a SolidWorks part and as a JPEG as well, all in that same folder. So now we should be up to 8 of the 10 files that we need for this assignment. 2, 4, 6, 8, perfect. So the only thing left to do in SolidWorks now is to put it back into the assembly. So I have a bunch of things open. I still have the assembly from before. So this is the one that we did in a previous video. And now all I have to do is I'm on my assemblies tab and come up here to insert component. Over here, it should automatically populate anything that I have open and I'm currently working on in SolidWorks, but if for whatever reason your part isn't listed here, the cap that you're trying to add, you can always browse and find where you saved it to get it to put into the assembly. So I click on my cap, and that's going to give me the ability to left click to stamp this somewhere into my workspace. So I'm going to left click right over here to get that into my workspace. And now, just like before, I have to make some mates to be able to get this tied to the rest of my assembly. So I click on my assembly tab. I'm going to click on my mate button, and then that's going to give me my mate property manager. So then in my mate selections, I'm going to pick this plane, like this flat plane on the inside of my cap, and this flat plane on the outside of my lens there. And it's going to line those up because I want to make them coincident, but I can tell right away that it's the wrong way. Like my cap is like inside my camera now. So this mate alignment down here, where there's these two buttons, this is where you can flip orientation. And you can just go back and forth between one or the other. But I can tell you that based on the way it looks, I'm going to want that one. So that's the first restriction on degrees of freedom. So I hit check mark. Now I got to make some more. So I'm going to pick this cylindrical shape here of my lens, and then I'm going to pick the cylindrical shape of the cap, and then the cylindrical shape of my lens. So I have both of those. It's calling face 3 and 4, and we're making those concentric with each other. So then I hit check mark. And even though that was only 2 mates, I am unable to pull this off of my assembly here. And in actuality, it's probably spinning, even though I can't really tell because there's this rotational degree of freedom that hasn't been constrained. But that is pretty much close enough for this assignment. So I'm going to make sure I put this into a nice isometric view because I need to be able to save a good image of it. And I'm going to save this as file save as in the file location where I know it needs to go. And this is going to be assembly 2, let's say, and as an image. So that was the assembly file, and now the image file of it goes in there as well. And that gives me my one file folder that has all 10 files I need for this assignment. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So in Windows, wherever I have a file with a bunch of files in it, there is a cool compression technique that it does so that Windows recognizes it as like one file. And you're also going to need that for submissions of some of the assignments here for Dr. Foley's class. So once you get all of the files that you want together to be turned in, you put them in one file, and then I can right click on that file and I can go to compress to zip file, and it creates another one that it's its exact twin except it has a zipper on it. This is a zip file or a compressed file, which is recognized in the directory as like one file. It's not recognized as a file with files in it. So you can submit this as one file, and that's some of the requirement. It's a .zip file. And that concludes this video to be able to finish up the Dr. Foley's assembly assignment. And thanks for watching.